mornings with Vernon. Yeah. Yeah. Get up now. Come on now. Get up. From mornings with Vernon. Get up now. Let's go. Get up now. Turn it up now. 1, 2, 3. Let's get it now.
Start your day with Mornings with Vernon on WBQP, Monday through Friday from 6:30 to 9 a.m. Watch on Channel 12 and listen on WBQP Radio on your phone, Alexa, or CarPlay. WBQP is your information station.
All right, y'all. Good morning and Morning with Vernon. Monday morning, y'all. Yay. All right, Motivational Monday, y'all. Motivational Monday. Hey, I got my coffee, y'all. And I had a good weekend. It was a little wet this weekend, y'all. A little wet this weekend. But other than that, we had a great weekend, y'all. We thank y'all for, you have to be here on the Gulf Coast. The Gulf Coast and the weekend are made for each other. Yes, sir. The Gulf Coast and the weekend are made for each other, y'all. Y'all go to church yesterday on yesterday? Did you go to church? If you didn't go to church yesterday, I pray for you. Okay, I pray for you. Okay, so all I can say is good morning, everybody. Everybody under the sound of my voice this morning. I just want to say hello, and I hope you had a good weekend. And I hope everybody that listened to me on Facebook and social media and so forth. I just want to say good morning to everybody. I hope you had a great weekend wherever you residing. Hope you got your cup of coffee, and we're gonna sit down and let's have a great show. A great show this Monday morning. And you know what we do? We always like to cover what we're gonna cover. And again, folks, if you don't know how to get this station, please tell everybody how to get it. We can get it many ways, many ways, okay? But one of the easiest ways, you can just scan this code right here. That's the easy. Or you can just download the WBQP TV app, okay? WBQP TV app. If you want to listen to us in the house, just go to Alexa and just tell Alexa to play WBQP. You have it there with Alexa. If you're out in your car, you want to listen to it in your car, just go to CarPlay or Auto Android, okay? Android Auto, you can get it there inside of your car. If you're looking at your computer, just go to the WBQP TV website or just type in this code in your browser, rdo.to/WBQP. You type it into your phone, you type it in your computer, you type it into your watch, you can type it into your tablet, and all that stuff. You can still get WBQP. Trust me, you can get WBQP that way. You're looking at us on television. We're live on 12.1, okay? And in the local area, if you outside the area, if you don't have an antenna, just go to your regular Roku channel. I know everybody got a Roku. If you don't have a Roku, I know you got a Fire Stick. If you got a Fire Stick, if you don't have a Fire Stick, I know you got folks that got those Samsung TVs, or you got an Android. Maybe you got one of those Android bootleg boxes. You can get us that way, or an Apple TV. So there's no the way you don't get us is just by cable. We're not on the cable system, so nobody got cable no way. Anyway, everybody cutting cable. Okay. Everybody cutting cable in the first place. All right, y'all. Let's talk about what we're gonna talk about this morning, and I tell you. We're going to go over the news headlines, things that have been happening over the weekend, y'all. Monday usually kind of run a little long because we're covering what's happening over the weekend. And it's also we're going to get into a little bit of the weather with Mrs. Cheryl Moraine. Okay, Cheryl. And then we're going to have grammar time with Mamie Hickson. Mamie is always up for the chores. Monday morning, she be up and running for grammar time, y'all. She want us to talk and speak it right. 7:30 time frame. Hopefully we're gonna be talking to Miss Clara Long at 7:30 time frame. And then if we would definitely get something in on Black history right around between now and then. And then at 8:30 time frame, we'll be talking to Officer Woods down at the City Police Department. And we will also have a motivational prayer. We try to do that at least once an hour there. And also just tell everybody that we're on from Monday through Friday. We try to get in a little bit of stuff in this morning. We try to get a little bit in of everything. But I just want you to remind folks that we are going. This morning,
morning,
we just want to
Vernon,
make
high 84, low 66, and a 10% chance of rain. Have a great Monday.
All righty, y'all. And America is having a birthday this month, y'all.
WBQP salutes the spirit of America, celebrating 250 years of freedom. Happy birthday, USA!
WBQP is the voice of the Black community, the station that cares.
All right, y'all. Good morning. Good morning. I'm not going to go directly to a commercial break this morning because we got Mamie on at 7:45. But Mamie reminded me something last week that we should be doing every Monday morning. That's motivating. That is motivating folks to get up and get out of the way. Okay, so I tell you, she reminded us of the lion and the lion and the gazelle story. And Hill used to do that every Monday morning, and I think that's very appropriate. I'm gonna bring it back. So I put together a little piece of work here, and then when we finish this motivational minute, okay, we'll finish this motivational minute, 2 minutes, however long it is. We'll be back with Mamie Hickson with Grandma Time. Okay.
Every morning in Africa, a gazelle wakes up. It knows it must run faster than the fastest lion, or it will be killed. Every morning, a lion wakes up. It knows it must outrun the slowest gazelle, or it will starve to death. It doesn't matter whether you are a lion or a gazelle. When the sun comes up, you'd better be running.
If the lion is the king of the jungle, how can he be the king of the jungle? If he's not the biggest, the elephant is probably one of the biggest. He can't be the fastest because that's a cheetah. He can't be the smartest. So he's not the biggest, the fastest, or the smartest. So how does a lion become the king of the jungle? His mentality. That's the only difference of a lion and an elephant. When a lion walks up and sees an elephant, he thinks lunch. An elephant thinks run. And it's all mentality. Because when a male lion walks up, he may be outnumbered by a pack of hyenas, but I'm king of my jungle because of my mentality.
What happens when you're a gazelle and you're not being pushed, you're not being prodded, you're not given a reward, nobody's encouraging you? What happens when you're a gazelle and the lion's not chasing you anymore? You stop running. But what happens when you're a lion? When you're a lion, it does not make a difference. You realize that if your family is going to eat, that if that pack of lions is to survive, then you gotta go hunt. A part of being a beast just ain't eating a gazelle. A part of being a beast is the hunt. It's the hunt that they're excited about. They like to see the gazelles run. Then boom, they take off. Because real lions like to hunt. They love the process just as much as they love the prize. And some of y'all just want to score. You don't like the process. You're not in love with the process.
A true hunter's goal is not the prize. A true hunter's goal is to hunt. That's what they live for. They live to hunt. They don't just live to catch it. It's the whole process.
When you are a true hunter, you don't go by time, you go by the gazelle. When you are a true hunter, you hunt until you get a gazelle, and you don't stop until you get one. And then you get another, and then you get another, and you get another. If you're gonna do what you say you're gonna do, be what you say you're gonna be, you're gonna have to lion me out. You a gazelle, you're gonna come up short. You a gazelle, you're gonna have an average experience. You a student, I need you in lion mode. You an entrepreneur, I need you in lion mode. You trying to lose weight, lion mode. You can't do nothing significant in gazelle mode, nothing. Nothing impressive happens in gazelle mode. Nothing happens in run mode, give up mode, quit mode, scared mode, fearful mode, nothing happens. Everything happens in lion mode like I'm coming to get you.
All right, y'all. All I'm saying to you, you need to be the lion of your jungle, y'all. That piece was done by Ben Lowell Scott, y'all. He's trying to motivate you, get you up and do whatever you need to do to be the man of your jungle. I mean, be the lion of your jungle, y'all. It is 7:45, almost 7:45, and we got Mamie Hickson with grammar time, y'all. In fact, I think I'm on time this morning. Good morning.
It's Monday, 6:45 a.m. It's grammar time with Mamie Hickson on WBQP. Let's learn, improve, and succeed.
You can't say that. It's grammar time. It's grammar time. Good grammar can't touch this. It's grammar time.
Grammar time. If that don't get you going, nothing else will. Good morning, Mamie. You selected the best kind of music there is. You get us started on Monday morning. How you doing? And how was your weekend?
That's your word today, motivated. I love your motivational videos, especially the gazelle, the whole metaphor of the gazelle and the lion. Be your lion. Well, you're the lion in your jungle of videos. You're it. I mean, you found all of those wonderful things. They were already made up. That's classic.
Yeah. You're a little. Well, I the first part of it I had to create with the help of AI, but I went and searched some motivational pieces, and I found several of them that I'm going to play throughout our broadcast. Not today, but throughout our broadcast as we go along, so we'll have the same one. But you'll be surprised how many great motivational speakers out there. And so I thought, but thanks to you, because you brought it up yet last week when we had talked about it one time before, but you brought it up. I said, you know what? And I always remembered Robert Hill used to get up every Monday, and that was his mantra, is to get up and be a lion in your jungle. And he told that story about the lion and the gazelle. And so thanks to you, Mamie, we're gonna resurrect it. Okay.
Right, that's good. I love all the videos. You know what? We probably need to change the screen on one of those. It says you're invited while you are. We need that AI generated person to point to the YOUR, which should be YOU''RE. I think she's pointing to the wrong thing.
Well, that could say AI is not 100%.
Right, I know. So let's fix that AI, because I think someone will notice. I kept looking. I thought, I think this is pointing.
But I thought it was the whole point of it, because we know this grammar's not right, so we want you to fix it.
Right. I think the figurine, the person is pointing to invited with two eyes, but yet there's this YOUR, which is more wrong than the two eyes and invited. If it doesn't think it's more wrong, that's an absolute. Something is either wrong or it's not, but I'm going to say wrong or wronger.
Okay.
All right. So good morning officially to It's Grammar Time. And you and I have briefly talked about our sexist language, words that are sexist or gendered.
Yeah.
That is, these are words that usually reflect gender bias.
Mm-hmm.
And we now have what's called a singular day. So we have a couple of days we can just do. This is the new month. new subject. Last month, May was our graduation grammar. So let's
Yeah.
do some pronouns for the month
Okay.
of June. And, well, language, not just pronouns, but specifically today, some nouns, sexist nouns or gendered nouns. We don't even think in terms of our language being sexist or gendered. Not just nouns, just some adjectives too. If I can share a screen, I could do this without sharing screen, but I think if
Yeah.
you know
Yeah. If
there
you shared it, you just request it, and if it pops up there, you just have to request it from me. I
okay.
still hadn't. Maybe I went in there and looked. I still hadn't figured out how it automatic could give you the screen share. I get it. I just gave you the permission. But anyway, somebody gonna have to teach me on how to do Zoom.
Okay, but that's good. It comes up quickly as soon as I request it. You're able to do it. That's the
Yeah,
main.
yeah, yeah. As soon as as soon as I can, when you request it, that I can give you permission. There's no problem at all.
So if our language is truly sexist, that means that some of these words that you can see, Vernon, aggressive, associate, attorney, bossy, chairman, clinician, female, fighter pilot, gal, gossipy. We'll just stop there. Okay.
Gail, I like that one.
You like that one? Let's talk about gal. Is that gendered?
Yeah, well, yeah, it's gender bias.
Mm-hmm. Same thing. Gender
It,
bias.
yeah,
Gender bias.
yeah.
They gendered.
There's really, maybe I don't know, but they saying that there's no such. Sometimes when I was in the English class, and they used to tell me there's no such thing as that word. So
no such thing as what, gal?
Yeah, no such word as gal. Your teacher would try to discourage you from using it. And no such word. You don't say certain words you used to say. Your teacher would remind you there's no such word. But there are such words. But I know what the intent is for us not to use them in the wrong context and not to use them. Period. Really.
That's misinformation. That's not giving your students an opportunity to think critically. Because if it exists in the dictionary, if it's housed, it is a word. But just looking it up, gal, to see if it has a label like offensive. The first definition says synonyms, girl, woman. I was hoping that Merriam-Webster would at least address the fact that it is considered sexist. Let's see. There are some examples and still nothing. The etymology, alteration of girl, and that's it, but no usage. First known use of gal was in 1795, but no, it'd be interesting to see what AI has to say, because this is Merriam-Webster that does not give it a label, but I'm glad you sent me in this direction, so I'm just going to try AI, gal.
I used to hear, either my grandmother, somebody used to always tell her, gal ain't nothing but a cow. Don't be using them, be calling me gal. Don't be calling us gal.
Okay.
I don't know about that. I don't know about all that.
AI says gal is an informal slang term for a girl or a woman. That's what I expected Merriam-Webster to do, give it a label, because you certainly should not write that in academic or business writing. Refer to one of your colleagues as a gal. Well, the gal in the office next door to me is the CEO. That I'm surprised this doesn't have a label beyond slang, like often considered offensive. So I'd stay away from that word gal. Okay, this is sending me to Merriam-Webster, but we just looked it up. Unless there's another version of the definition. Nope. Girl, woman.
It's kind of, well, I would recommend people to stay away from it. It is kind of offensive, Mamie.
It is. I don't like
you refer to any woman as a gal, any female as a gal. It's kind of offensive. So I would recommend folks not go there.
And I wonder, It'd be interesting to do a survey if a lot of women, most women, are offended by it. I'm offended when people refer to me as sweetie and honey, and I know that's
Really, sugar? Oh, sugar. Oh, no. How come?
that's part of your character, because why would a 15-year-old clerk behind the counter refer to us 50? I'm just going to start at age 50. 50, 60 year old is sweetie honey, other than the fact we'll pass it off as a Southern expression. But just as we have to be careful with gal, I think we have to be careful with words like sugar and sweetie and honey, especially. I can give you a perfect example. Do you remember Piccadilly?
Yes, I do remember Piccadilly.
I was in the
Town
line.
and Country Plaza.
Yeah, I was in the line. This is many years ago, Piccadilly. And I thought, okay, let me get myself prepared. These Southern ladies behind the counter, a gentleman, a white male, was in front of me. Sir, would you like salad? Sir, would you like dessert? And I thought they'd better come up with the name, or it's going to be a little lecture in here. And of course, I had to get my lecture, but motivational lecture, the one that was sanitized. And when I walked up, she did say, and she was 30 or 40 years younger than I, she said, what would you like, sweetie? I just said, the reason why the customer in front of me is a sir, and I'm a sweetie. Oh, it's just Southern. Do you have a Southern title for him? Let's get
redneck.
right.
Okay.
I think sometimes we just don't think sugar, sweetie, honey. There's something generational about that. But this would also bring up the N word, how many people think that it is restrictive, that Black people can say it and white people can't. That's a long discussion in itself. I have to remind my students when we're reading novels, the characters are using the word in dialogue and we're reading aloud. They have, as people in an intellectual space, the authority to read the text. They are not using the term in a disparaging way as an epithet for Black people, right? You're just reading what's there. But I have through the years, I have had many white students who just won't read it. And so I've asked, tell me something then. When you're reading silently to you, only you, do you say it then? I mean, you have to say it silently, don't you? So something to think about.
That's true now.
All right, let's go back to our list, the first 10.
Okay.
You see any others other than gal?
Well, let's talk about these are potentially sexist words, right?
Well, not necessarily. That's what I'm asking. Do you see any that are?
That aren't?
That are
sexist? Yeah, I can see a female pilot. I could see gossipers. I could see lady doctor, mailman, policewoman, minister. I don't know about that, but anyhow.
Which one?
I see spinster.
Oh, spinster, yes. Okay.
Yeah. And down at the bottom, I see the rapist down at the bottom, but that should be mutually applied to male or female, right? The rapist. I mean the therapist.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say I didn't put the rapist on here.
I use that word all the time. Maybe I tell folks if you spell it, if you break it up, it's spelled the rapist.
Okay.
You're going to the rapist for, but that's just trying to be funny. Okay.
All right.
You got a little concern, huh?
So you want me to highlight therapists as sexist or not?
No. I think that's not. I don't think it's sexist. But I do think waitress is sexy.
Right.
I think waitress is sexy.
No, now you're really being funny. So you're saying a waitress is sexy. Sexy instead of sexist.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
Okay, so
you know who you're dealing with, Mamie. Okay.
All right.
All right. Now the waitress, and the police words that were sexist. Waitress is one. I would think. Well, I don't know. We'll talk about it. And then police woman.
Okay. Well, let's go back to waitress.
Okay, let's go back to waitress.
I think is considered gendered because it suggests that this is a female server, and you have another word, waiter, for male server.
Okay.
But waiter conjures up a male. When you say, well, let's ask the waiter, people think male. Well, where is he? And waitress, where is she? If you were a server, for instance, yourself, how would you feel if one of the guests referred to you as the waitress?
Well, again though, but isn't that one of those sitting on the fence words? Because really, it is. We always identify. It's unlike mailman, right? We always universally say call everybody mailman, which is not right because we substitute that word and call them postal workers. Okay. Maybe you're gonna change waitress to wait staff or something like that.
Right. That's why you change postman to mail carrier, because universally, when it comes to writing and speaking, that word is sexist. It is gendered. Male man, post man, chair man. They all end in man, and so it means it excludes the female. And again, if you were working in a restaurant and someone said to you, "Excuse me, are you the waitress? What's your
I just bend my wrist and say, "Yeah, child, yeah, honey, yes, sweetie, I am."
Okay, there you go. You're the waitress, and your name is Vernon. I'm the waiter, and my name is Mamie. Oh, who knows? But now our attention has been brought to these discrepancies, and that's why we do use the word postal carrier or mail carrier or police officer. We don't say policeman. We don't say chairman, preferably. In my sorority, however, we are given instructions in our style manual to use chairman. And I do disagree with that. Yes, I would prefer chair.
The chair, yeah. I thought the common word, the most acceptable term was the chair.
The chair.
Yeah.
Right. It removes any doubt, or at least it removes any concerns about sexism. It's just chair. Just like alum. We don't say alumna for me and alumnus for you.
Yeah.
But then at the same time, what about a greeting in a business letter? Dear sir or madam? Is that sexist? Dear sir, you start your letter off. You're sending out a letter of inquiry or a letter of application, and you start off, dear sir or madam.
Yeah.
Is that sexist? What do you think?
Well, it's kind of sexist because number one, they always say dear sir rather than dear madam, sir. But yeah, I think it's a little bit sexist.
But what if you did say dear sir? Isn't that sexist too? You're sending this to an unknown person, the recipient who's going to handle and process your application, and you decide to say dear sir.
So we're gonna put on to whom it may concern. What's the most proper thing to do?
That's a good option, but is it a good option? It used to be. Nowadays, with technology, you can go online. There's no excuse. You can go online and find out who the HR representative is, who the chairman of the department is.
If you want a job, you would think you would do your research, right?
Right.
I would agree with that. Yeah.
And then you should say, dear Mr. Watson, or something like that.
Right, yeah.
Or dear search committee, dear registrar. Perhaps use the title, dear admissions officer, dear CEO. Now you're getting away from what could be construed as sexist. And then it's 7 o'clock, but let's end. What about mistress of ceremonies? Is that sexist? That says definitively we're talking about a female who is presiding over the program. If it is, it's not sexist. If that person is a female, but then that brings the question, does this person have a pronoun preference or a noun preference? What if it's somebody who doesn't want to be considered the mistress of ceremonies, although we think of her as a female? But that brings up the singular they might prefer the singular they. And what do you do in a case like that? Even the head of a department or the head of HR might might prefer a non-gendered noun to be addressed by, because sir says male, madam says female. We have a pronoun for that, the singular they, but I don't know if we have a noun other than some other title.
Yeah. Before you go, Mamie, what about number 10? Why do you put number 10 on there?
Okay, it's one of those gendered adjectives, because when you think gossipy, be honest, when people think gossipy, what do they generally think of when it comes to gender?
Yeah, female. Okay. I
Mm-hmm.
got you. I
Same thing
got
with
you.
hysterical.
But they never been to a male barbershop, have they?
Oh, so what goes on in there?
Yeah, they way more gossipy than I never went to a beauty shop. Yes, I have, but anyway, but they okay. I can see why that would be.
See that one. What about bossy? Women are
Bossy and aggressive is always
aggressive.
applied to women.
Right? Why? What? Why?
Well, there's no good reason, but they just we men look at women as being a little more what you call it, not boss, what you good, meek and mild, and if you assert yourself as a female, then you obtain the title of being bossy or being aggressive, because our society think that women should be step behind a man. But in Austin, I got a saying all the time: behind every great man, there is a woman either pulling in front of him or behind pushing him.
True.
Yeah,
I agree with that. I would call that true.
Yeah,
if it was true or false.
Yeah,
I think so. She's probably the speechwriter.
Exactly. What there's a song meant to make popular, the unsung, the wind beneath my wing song. You heard that one? I know you heard that one.
Oh
right?
yes, for
that's
sure.
a beautiful song, and that's what I think in most situations when we're talking about sexist language and sexist behavior and so forth. A lot of women don't get the credit for their due, okay? Because they're the one that made that person, particularly the male person, probably, if they are considered to be great, that female pushing them or pulling them is the one that caused them to be that unsung hero. That's the wind beneath their wings. That's just my opinion about that.
Mm-hmm. I agree. I think that's a nice assessment of what the song really means.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I hear this song. I hear this saying all the time, and I cringe every time I see it. Behind every great man, there's a woman. But it's true to an extent. But they suggesting that the woman's stepping behind him. But of course she played much more of a role than just behind him. Why can't you just say where every great man, there's a woman standing beside him?
I agree, but I think she probably is beside him, behind him, and in front of him too.
Yeah.
I think behind every great woman, there's a woman herself.
Yeah.
She's that motivator. She's that motivational person. You have to be your own motivation.
True. And it's so true.
In my opinion, you can't wait to be motivated by someone or something else. You got to be self-motivated first. And then you can reach out to other motivations.
Yeah.
Okay, what motivated us to get up this morning, be on grammar science, and you have your reputation to maintain. You don't want to have a TV program and you're not here. Where is he?
Yeah, I'm asleep. I can't get up this morning. I can't be late.
Right.
I can't be on CP time every morning.
Exactly. That's true. That's another talk show. CP time. Why us? So what's your preferred pronoun, Vernon? If I were to go in, now that's trending when you're on the Google screen or Google Meet or Zoom, you can go in and change your name and put your preferred pronoun next to it. I can put next to Mamie Hickson, she, her. That would be my preferred pronoun. Those are the only pronouns I've ever known.
Is me, myself, and I pronoun?
Sure, those are pronouns.
Okay, so those are three. I choose me, myself, and I.
Those are personal anyway. they refer to you. But how do you want other people to refer to you? With he and him,
He,
or with she and her?
him.
Or you have another
He.
choice. They or them. Now we have choices. You have he.
I never understood all that crazy stuff, but I'm traditional. Just give me he, him. I'm not more than I don't understand the them and they, because that suggests to me it's plural. I'm just only one person. And what other pronoun that goes along with that? I know he, him, them and they. What else?
Right. They and them are non-gendered, whereas he and him are gendered masculine. She and her are gendered as feminine.
Mm-hmm. So, what's wrong with that?
And if you use they, them, every person should get up and motivate themselves. That's where that comes in. Rather than when you were in high school, I'm sure you had to say every person must get up and motivate himself. And that was for you to say and for me to say too. But when I said it, I was excluding the fact that I'm a female. I was restricted and confined to using a masculine pronoun. That's why you have the uproar from people who consider themselves non-binary. I don't have a gender assignment. I'm just a they. We'll have to talk about that next week.
Yeah, we got to talk about that, because we get into politics now, but whether or not I hear preferences, I respect that for people with their preferences, but whether they know it or not, they have been assigned a gender by birth. I don't know, just based on whatever biology. Biological, whatever God assigned you by birth. You can change it out. That's okay, but anyhow, that's a whole different subject. Maybe we'll be here all year talking about that one.
Exactly. but we can enlighten people, and you can open up your phone lines.
Yeah.
Oh, that one, I think. Let's see if anybody calls in. Do you have someone to screen the calls first?
No, I ain't got time this morning to call them, but we could take calls, I guess. I don't know. It's the problem with me taking calls. I have to take it on my cell phone, maybe.
Oh, I see.
And I don't want to give it out to the whole world.
I understand.
To the cell phone. See, that's the problem with that. And then it's squeaky, but they can zoom in. I don't care about that. They can certainly zoom in their opinion.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah. All right.
All right.
You got anything else, or you got to go grammar? You grammatize in the morning?
Ready? Yes, I'm getting ready to now. Grammatize my grammar.
You're gonna do your little music. You get
yes.
What's his name?
I don't know.
The music that we on your theme song. What's that? Grammar time. Hammer time. So you got your grammar time music. Y'all motivate yourself with that one.
Yes, but let's take us out with it.
Yeah, we're gonna take us out with it. All right, Mamie, thank you. We'll see you next Monday morning, right? All right.
It's Monday, 6:45 a.m. It's Grammar Time with Mamie Hickson on WBQP. Let's learn, improve, and succeed.
You can't say that. It's grammar time. It's grammar time. Good grammar can't touch this. It's grammar time. Learn it, fix it, say it right.
It's time for mornings with Vernon. Yeah. Yeah. Get up now. Come on now. Get up. For mornings with Vernon. Get up now. Let's go. Get up now. Turn it up now. 1, 2, 3. Let's get it out.
Navigating heart care can be challenging. Baptist makes it better with the latest treatments and innovations and the area's largest, most experienced heart team ready to create a care plan just for you. All when you need us most. Let Baptist make it better. Baptist Healthcare.
I remember these. Will I have the money to send my kid to college? Well, that's specific. How long has that been there? 7-letter word for a bank that helps you reach your goals.
Synovus. Order for Synovus? Thank you.
Are you a novice?
Yes.
Are you gonna ask or should I?
A solid financial future doesn't happen by chance. Let's talk about your potential today.
For 75 years, Baptist has brought innovative care to our community. Through our Andrews Institute, we continue the legacy by providing advanced total joint care, restoring mobility, strength, and quality of life. Baptist Healthcare, here for you then, now, and always.
What is your story? It may take time to find it. You may even question if you have one worth telling. But when all seems lost, your story finds you. Because you don't need permission. Just a place. And we'll be waiting. The American Black Film Festival. Everyone has a story. Yours belongs here.
Why wait? With Penn Air's fast approvals and low rates, getting a car loan is easier than ever. Penn Air Credit Union. Join us.
Choosing the right school is one of the most important decisions you'll make for your child. At Jacqueline Harris Preparatory Academy, we provide a safe, supporting environment where students grow academically and personally. With strong core instruction and unique programs, students gain confidence, creativity, and real-world skills. At JHPA, we live by our motto, enter to learn, depart to serve. Enroll today and prepare your child to soar.
Keep growing.
Remember where you came from, it's the foundation of who you are.
Show up for others.
That's been our approach at Penn Air for 90 years. Penn Air Credit Union, 90 years strong.
This is Prayer Perspectives by J.O. Gatson on your WBQP.
This is J.O. Gatson of Emmaus Baptist Church. We come before your presence in prayer, sacred words of prayer. We've come to offer ourselves to the Lord in prayer on this Makeover Monday. Pray with me if you don't mind. Lord God, we come because you're the one to keep hope alive in our lives on this Makeover Monday. We come praying because you're God. And our heart's desire on this day, on Makeover Monday, dear God, our heart's desire is that you would just make us over, mold and shape us to be the people that you desire in these last and evil days. Lord, we know that we've fallen short of your glory. So we come on this morning, Monday morning, dear God, doing our very best to make it right. That you would be edified and glorified in the midst of our lives as we pray now in the belovedness of Jesus the Christ, our Lord and our Savior. Amen.
Got projects in mind? A Pen Air home equity line gives you access to funds without the fees. Pen Air Credit Union. Join us.
WBQP TV streaming on Apple TV, Fire TV, Roku TV, and other streaming devices.
WBQP salutes the spirit of America, celebrating 250 years of freedom. Happy birthday, USA!
Hi, Vernon. Here's your WBQP weekly weather forecast. We begin the week with a 60% chance of rain on Monday. Expect cloudy skies with scattered showers throughout the day. High temperatures will reach around 89 degrees with a low of 72. Tuesday remains mostly cloudy with a 40% chance of showers, a high of 87 and a low of 71. By Wednesday, we'll see a slight break in the wet weather. Expect a high of 82 degrees with a low of 69 and only a 20% chance of rain. Thursday brings partly cloudy skies with a 60% chance of showers. Highs will reach 83 degrees with lows around 70. And we wrap up the week on Friday with partly cloudy conditions and a 20% chance of showers. Highs will reach 82 degrees with overnight lows around 72. Overall, it's a warm and humid week with several opportunities for showers. This is Cheryl Mulrain, and that's your weekly weather forecast. Have a great week and keep it locked right here on WBQP TV and radio.
WBQP is the voice of the Black community, the station that cares.
It's time for Mornings with Vernon. Yeah. Yeah. Get up now. Come on now. Get up. For Mornings with Vernon. Get up now. Let's go. Get up now. Turn it up now. 1, 2, 3. Let's get it out.
All right, y'all. Morning with Vernon. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. The sound of Vernon's voice this morning. We're going to get a little bit into the news. We got what's coming up, y'all. Let me tell you what's coming up so that we're going to get in a little bit of the news, but hopefully we're going to be talking to Mrs. Clara Long at 7:30 this morning. And we'll be talking to, hopefully, having a conversation with Lumen May at around 8 o'clock. We can get a little Black History in, like 30 time frame. We'll be talking to Officer Mike Woods, if you will. But in the meantime, y'all, we'll go ahead and try to get a little news in here this morning, if you will. Okay, it's just a few of the headlines. Okay.
Live from WBQP News Desk, this is your Headlines News Summary with Vernon Watson. Good morning, Vernon. I know you are ready to give your version of the headlines news for Pensacola.
Yes, I am ready to give my headline news, y'all. And it's just basically is that's what we're going to be talking about, some headline. We had some wet weather this weekend, y'all. Wet weather up around the Flomaton area, Kent Century area. The highway washed out. There's so much rain, it washed out the highway, leaving. They had to close Highway 29 because of this. Is there up around? I believe it was around West Bogus Road and Highway 29, where torrential rain and flooding Sunday caused the West Bogus Road and North Century Boulevard to collapse, and it washed it washed away part of the roadway and the covering along Highway 29. So they had to close down Highway 29 for southbound traffic and divert the 29 traffic to go through up to Highway 164 up to Highway 97. So you know that was a pain. But anyway, y'all, that's what the weather did for us. Okay. All right, let's move on. Let's move on to a different story here really quickly, y'all. You need to read about these stories in your whatever news source you're going to be able to use this morning. Pensacola police officer was arrested on 2 new charges. Remember, we reported him back a little early on, a couple months ago, on his non-disclosure of HIV while having sex. Now he's a former officer, and he's facing 2 new charges for failing to disclose his HIV positive status to sexual partners. So the Escambia County Sheriff Office arrested the 32-year-old Pierce Cotton on Friday at 8:20, but he's been released on a $30,000 bond. But now he's facing 3 charges of having sex without informing partners that he had HIV. And he was a police officer at the police department. He was first arrested back, I think it was back in March time frame when they reported it in the case. But anyway, you'll read that story as you in your news source there. This person here, we reported probably a little bit this on Friday. Emergency crews had to aid a driver, okay, after the 3-mile crash. We had some video of that where the man was zooming up and down on the 3-mile bridge. Well, I don't want to call it the 3-mile bridge. Y'all get in the habit of calling it the Chappie James Bridge, okay? All right, on the Chappie James Bridge, okay? All right, let's move on. Free Ram Clinic draws hundreds to Crestview School for no-cost medical care. All right. So if you're in the Okaloosa County area up around Crestview, that's what went on this weekend. They had a natural group to set up shop in Crestview, and they were offering free health care to anyone without any questions asked. Okay. So that happened over in Okaloosa County in the big city of Crestview. Y'all, you know, June 1st, y'all, is hurricane season. Prepare now for hurricanes. We've been talking to JD over at the Florida Power and Light. They're getting ready, and they said that they've done a lot of stuff over the few years here to try to strengthen power. And nothing is hurricane proof, but at least when they replacing some of these wooden poles with metal poles and stuff like that. So we're trying to strengthen the system, if you will. They're trying to strengthen the system. So we won't have that less downtime when hurricanes come in. The hurricane is coming. They're expecting a lighter hurricane season than normally due to their Nino or something like that. And but remember, we escaped it. Well, we had a good year last year. So be prepared. Do whatever you need to do. Prepare for hurricanes right now. Okay, we're gonna have somebody on this show gonna be talking about hurricane preparation. So I want you to make sure that you stay tuned to that whenever it occurs. Today, tonight I'm gonna be talking to Mike Coulter. He's coming on at 8 o'clock tonight on WBQP. And but anyway, we reported last week about people dropping homeless people off in Escambia County from Orange Beach and everything. So Thursday afternoon, an officer from Orange Beach dropped off a homeless person at the Waterfront Mission. And then, they got the Escambia County Sheriff involved in it. And now, and we talked to Chip Timmons about it a little bit on Friday. They was questioning why they was doing that, in particular why law enforcement officers dropping off. But my commissioner, in full disclosure, my commissioner is Mike Coulter, and in my district here. But he's saying that Pensacola has a reputation of being a haven for homeless people. So everybody's trying to get to Pensacola, but our resources not finite. Okay. But they drawing people over here. So he said, but that's the first time he's seen anybody dropping them off by a law enforcement officer. So we'll discuss that story as we go along here. Okay. So get your stories from your original news source. I ain't got time to chew the fat this morning, just trying to get over cover the headlines there. All right. Now we reported last week about some incidents over in Santa Rosa County where they say that animals and bees and different chickens and stuff like that are dying because they suspect that the herbicide that is being sprayed to stiffen the growth of the vegetation on the power lines is killing the animals. And now it's concerns about, well, if you're killing animals, maybe it can kill humans as well. So stay tuned to that story. You're going to hear a lot more about that as time to come. Okay. All right. This lady here, y'all, she was charged, right, with DUI. Woman charged with DUI manslaughter for the fatal crash on Highway 29 in Escambia County. Her name is Kelsey Eyl. But anyway, she turned herself in on Friday, and she was issued a warrant by the Florida Highway Patrol. She's charged with DUI manslaughter and 2 counts of DUI, seriously bodily injury. That was a crash that happened back in October, y'all, on Highway 29 on Woodbury Circle. So she suffered critical injuries while passing a 30-year-old Cantonment man died in the crash. So the occupants of the other vehicle, the 72-year-old Flomaton man and a 70-year-old Flomaton woman, both also sustained injuries. And so she is in Escambia County Jail right now without bond. Okay, without bond. Okay, I did tell you about we talked about that motorcyclist. Okay, I'm not going to repeat his story again. All righty, then here's another story that may interest you. We get all kinds of stories in here, but this is a Mobile couple that there was hope they find hope after their families sleep in the car and getting help from the Salvation Army. This over in Mobile. This man, after losing his work and he's struggling to trying to find housing, he said they had to spend more than a month sleeping in their car with their children and before finding help through the Salvation Army. So, gosh, these are tugging stories that tug at your heart. So keep your eyes out on that story. People having lived in the house and live in the cars and no stability, and we can get $1.7 billion and give to criminals. Don't get me started. Let me move on before I get on. Florida officials, okay. And this is your governor here, y'all. This is old Gov here. He located 400 plus unaccompanied migrant children and immigrants crackdown. Okay. I don't know what's going on with our government today, but you read that story. You read that story, folks. I our TDS start acting up. All right, y'all. Let's go to something a little bit friendlier and a little bit better. And let's talk about the new Palafox Reimagine, y'all. It is open today, as I understand it, for vehicle traffic today. It had been open for the last week for foot traffic, and they still got some work to do on the side streets and everything. And so once that's done, parking is still free downtown for now, so we'll see. But you need to get down there and check out the new project there. This man here, he was arrested for not him, that's the homeless man. That's the comment. But this man was arrested for a crash that killed a pregnant woman, unborn child. Okay. He was arrested the other day, and he's a 23-year-old man. He was charged but you notice I get these stories, and this is a sideline. Okay, this is a sideline, but I noticed that sometimes, but they mention names. Sometimes they don't mention name. When I see faces like this, sometimes I have to hunt for the name. But when I see faces like mine, name is the first thing that comes up. I wonder why. But anyway, this is a 23-year-old man. His name is Nicholas Bolton, and he was charged with negligent manslaughter and reckless driving. That happened in a crash that happened on March 18th, and right on the intersection of 9th Avenue and Bayou Boulevard. They got those red light cameras there, but Pensacola police say that Bolton was driving his pickup truck southbound on 9th Avenue at a high rate of speed and ran the red light at Bayou and caused a crash with the car that was driven by a pregnant woman. The woman survived, but her unborn child did not. So he is in trouble for that, okay? And as well should be, all right? Now, now listen, I keep telling y'all, these stories get funny and funnier, but these speeding troubles, these speeding laws, okay? A man driving 102 miles an hour with unrestrained 3-year-old in the car with him, okay? With DUI, he was charged with DUI and speeding with a 3-year-old in the car with him. How stupid can we go? Huh? Okay, how stupid can we go with that? Let me move on. There's no cure for stupid, okay? No cure for stupid. Oh, Lord, speaking of stupid. Ooh. Oh, let's talk about this Iran deal that we ain't got yet, okay? I believe Iran is playing this fool like a fine fiddle, and we'll see whether or not we get any deal out of that. So I'm not going to get into that. All right, you know that ISIS on the rampage again, and now they got people up, protesters up in New Jersey, protesting the ICE activities again. ICE is in the news again. So when is this going to end, y'all? When do we are going to end up in a humane society? Okay. I can't wait to 2028, if you ask me. All righty, y'all. One last thing here, y'all, I'm going to talk about this morning here. Excuse me, a 79-year-old man is charged with murder of his stepfather's 50 years ago. Okay, think about this for a minute. A 79-year-old man was charged with murder of his stepfather 50 years ago, and also worse than that story, he is being charged with using his benefits as well. Okay, using his benefits as well. All right, a lot of other stories here that we didn't get a chance to. We're not going to get a chance to talk about this morning. So we got stories like Andrade warns that Save Our Homes could impact schools, and all this about the tax stuff, and how the Senate debate highlight education and stuff like that. And a lot of stories we didn't have a chance to talk about this morning. Okay. But anyway, I'm going to try to make room, y'all. I'm trying to make room for Miss Clara Long. I'm hoping that she will come in real soon this morning. And I'm wondering if she's going to be up and at the task. I know last week Miss Clara Long was actually on vacation. Because, you know, last I believe it was Veterans Day last weekend, and I wonder why nobody. Yep, I wonder why nobody came on the air, and I forgot I'm the only one that works on holidays. When I'm the only one working on holidays, I'm thinking everybody else works on holidays, but I guess not. I guess not. All right, y'all. I'm gonna take a quick break. When we come back, we're gonna be talking about jobs at Escambia County, with or without Miss Clara Long. Okay, so y'all stay tuned and let everybody know it is Monday, Motivational Monday, and we are ready to roll right here in Pensacola, Florida, with Morning with Vernon. So stay tuned. We'll be right back.
It's time for Mornings with Vernon. Yeah. Yeah. Get up now. Come on now. Get up. For Mornings with Vernon. Get up now. Let's go. Get up now. Turn it up now. 1, 2, 3. Let's get it now.
The State Farm Personal Price Plan helps you create an affordable price just for you. Call State Farm agent Arthur Searcy for your personal price plan today.
I remember these. Will I have the money to send my kid to college? That's specific. How long has that been there? 7-letter word for a bank that helps you reach your goals.
Synovus. Order for Synovus?
Thank you.
Are you Synovus?
Yes.
Are you gonna ask or should I?
A solid financial future doesn't happen by chance. Let's talk about your potential today.
Listen to WBQP radio in your car on CarPlay or Android Auto while you're on the go.
Since 1951, we've been here for our local community, creating pathways to care. We meet you where you are, with trusted doctors in convenient locations throughout the area. Baptist Healthcare, here for you then, now, and always.
Need a new outfit for a special occasion? Look no further than Viola's Men's Apparel. Viola's has been providing the latest styles and accessories in Pensacola for over 20 years now. We have clothes for every occasion, and we offer consultations and group discounts. You can trust that our care, quality, and class will be unmatched. Viola's Men's Apparel, for all of your menwear needs.
Joe Morrison Son Funeral Home has been in business since 1913. Hi, I'm David Hawkins, the owner of Joe Morrison Son Funeral Home, saying we are a full-service funeral home. We offer pre-need funeral planning. We have a newly remodeled chapel and conference facility. Stop by and see us today. We have 9 vehicles, all waiting to service you. At Joe Morrison Son Funeral Home, we appreciate your stopping by. On behalf of all of our family here at Joe Morrison Son Funeral Home, thank you so much for allowing our family to serve you.
Keep growing.
Remember where you came from. It's the foundation of who you are.
Show up for others.
That's been our approach at Penair for 90 years. Penair Credit Union, 90 years strong.
What is your story? It may take time to find it. You may even question if you have one worth telling. But when all seems lost, your story finds you. Because you don't need permission, just a place. And we'll be waiting. The American Black Film Festival. Everyone has a story. Yours belongs here.
Tell everybody. WBQP TV and WBQP Radio are your information stations. Tune in to the Blues Hound Show every Saturday, 10 a.m. on WBQP TV.
Got projects in mind? A Pen Air home equity line gives you access to funds without the fees. Pen Air Credit Union. Join us.
Choosing the right school is one of the most important decisions you'll make for your child. At Jacqueline Harris Preparatory Academy, we provide a safe, supporting environment where students grow academically and personally. With strong core instruction and unique programs, students gain confidence, creativity, and real-world skills. At JHPA, we live by our motto, enter to learn, depart to serve. Enroll today and prepare your child to soar.
Escambia government is hiring NOW. Find out Mondays, 7:30 a.m. here on WBQP with Clara Long.
Your job prayer will be answered. Clara Long has job for you here on WBQP TV.
If you need a job or looking for a career with the Escambia County government, tune in with Clara Long every Monday at 7:30 a.m. here on WBQP.
Hi, I'm Clara Long. I have a job and a career for you with the Escambia County government. Stay tuned.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, Miss Clara Long. You can't hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now. I can hear you now.
How you doing this morning, baby?
I'm good. I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. I just got off I'm calling you sugar and baby and all that kind of stuff. Just got off the horn with Mamie Hickson. We talking about sexist genders and sexist words that we shouldn't use in our language. And I violated 10 times already. So I jolly pies. It's the end of those words. If my words and endearment offends you, I jolly pies, okay?
Oh, jolly pies. I love it. I am all good. Yes, everything is good.
Hey, Claire. I was sitting here last week, and I was wondering, everybody that's supposed to been on wasn't on last week. And
what?
No, and I couldn't figure out why.
Holiday last week, right?
It was a holiday last week. I didn't think anybody take holidays off. See, that's a good reason to get a job at the Escambia County government. You can be off on the holidays.
Exactly.
Wow.
Yes.
And then well, how was your weekend?
My weekend was great. We're getting started for our summer youth employment program. So we had orientation this Saturday morning. So it was great. We all of the students come out and did what they're supposed to do. And so we're just moving forward, Mr. Vernon. Just basically hoping that these students will gain some experience and some knowledge and some job skills that will help them along the way.
Yeah, well, let's hope so. Let's hope so, Clara.
Yes.
And I think that they will.
I believe so. If they put forth the effort, I believe they will learn a lot and it will help them in the long run. So
yeah, it will. It will.
Yes.
So
absolutely.
you know what? I think, Clara, if you will, I think that's a good thing. That opportunity that we probably didn't have when we was coming up. We didn't have this great chance of getting summer jobs, and if you did, they were far and few and in between. And then plus getting
Yes.
jobs that they can train you with and paying you to train you. I mean, it's this thing's so different now, and I don't
Yes, it
understand why
is.
people is even unemployed nowadays. But it is what
Right,
it is. And
right.
y'all recruit every week for the same
Yes,
job
we
that I think it should be filled by now.
absolutely, absolutely. So, we were talking about like the corrections officers, the deputies, with the sheriff department. I know our correction officer, they boarded about 15 new employees within the last 2 weeks, which is a great thing. So it works if you just put forth the effort and apply, and the training is going to come. So don't be afraid of that. But again, the opportunity does exist right now. Like I said, we're not going to be out here with these job openings for life. So what we want to do is get you in now and go ahead and apply. And you have to apply with your resume. So I talk about that every week about, brushing up that resume. If you don't have a resume, um, I will encourage you to reach out to Escarosa and they can help you set up that resume.
Yeah, I got a grandson that's 20 years old, out of high school, halfway unemployed. He got a part time. All of these great jobs. What can he do? I'm using him as a good example. Good example. What should he do to get a job at Escambia County government? No experience, just freshly out of high school, just got very little experience other than working at fast foods and stuff like that. What can he do? What kind of job you got to offer him?
Well, it just depends on what what his likes, what he want to do in life. So graduating high school, you have a lot of areas that they kind of touch on, but no specific ones. And if you're working now, whatever you're currently doing, if you like that, whether it's customer service driven or whatever the occupation you are going into, if that's what you like, then that's what I will encourage you to go out to our county website and look at those positions. I mean, most of the positions we do have always start with customer service experience, because that's what we do. We are serving the community of Escambia County. We're serving the residents. So that is a plus to have that experience, along with any other additional skill sets that individual will have, like your nephew. So I would just recommend they go out there, look at the job descriptions that are posted with each individual job, and if they find some keywords that some of the skills that they're looking for that they have, I would say apply for it.
Okay. And the reason I brought that up, because I think because you guys have a lot of, you got some trainee jobs there that doesn't require a lot of experience, and so somebody like him should also get their resume. Claire, I sit there as being an old HR man myself. Sometimes you can't always be what you want to be. Okay.
Absolutely.
Because I wanted to be an airplane pilot, but I ended up flying a desk. So I didn't just because I wanted to be that doesn't mean, and I hear my grandchildren and all these children, well, I want to do this and I want to do that and I want to, okay, well, those are good dreams, but realistically, what can you do? What experience can you have? And what you find yourself with, and I tell them all the time, first priority in your life is getting a job, okay?
Yes.
And get so you can gain some experience in doing something, and get that job, and then it can elevate you up to other things. So don't think you're gonna jump out and be an airplane pilot just because you think that's what you want to do. You got to work your
Right.
way up to it, and it may turn out that you would never be that airplane pilot. So, but you can
Right.
find something that you can live with, as being an HR professional for the rest of your life, which paid well. So, hey, sometimes you get forced into jobs. Okay, you guys got a lot of jobs on the list. Just so many jobs. It just, you got to go to the website to see how many jobs that you guys got on there. It's myscamia.com, right? Myscamia.com. And I don't know what's new and what's not. All I know, they go from A to Z on this job listed here. Anything from an
Yes.
administrative assistant all the way down to an urban planner. Okay. And
Right.
everything in between. But a lot of them, which I try to tell these young people, a lot of them is trainees. Some of them, not a lot of them, but some of them are trainee jobs. So if you don't have
Right.
any experience, that's a good place to start if you wanted to.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I would say the key to looking at these job descriptions to see whether or not it requires a lot of experience versus just a little experience is when it asks for or preferred a degree. So if they're looking for just entry level, someone who just graduated high school with a diploma or a GED, a lot of times they're not really seeking a lot of experience. But
Mhm.
if they're requesting a bachelor's degree or even a master's degree, then not only are they looking for that preferred education, but they're also looking for at least 2 to 4 years of experience to go
Right.
along with the job. So those are the key things that you can look at to see whether or not it requires a lot of experience a little versus a
Yeah.
little. So those are the
Yeah.
things you look for. Yes.
Well, I got the job site displayed on the
Yes.
stream here, and
Okay.
they can see at all of these jobs, Claire, all of these jobs. I don't
Yes.
know how many, but you got, this is more than I've seen in a long time on
Yes.
here. This list is long, 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 long,
Yes.
long, long
Absolutely.
list
Yes. Yes.
today. And I'm talking about some entry level jobs and some high level jobs, such
Yes.
as
Yes.
a deputy director. They're looking for even a deputy director at the mass transit department, right?
Yes,
So,
absolutely. So, like you say, if you look at that job description, it is going to require a degree
mhm,
and at least a minimum of 2 to 3 years of experience to go along with it. But if you look
yeah,
at a community center specialist position that's out there, it just requires a GED or a high school diploma. So that means just a little customer service experience that's needed. And then once you come onto the job, you get trained even more as
yeah.
to what is needed to carry out those duties.
Claire, let me ask you this question. All of these jobs, once you get into, these are jobs that open to the public, right? Now, do y'all
Absolutely.
have jobs that open only to the employees, the career employees there that they can move up?
Yes,
Are they all
but those jobs would not be posted
right?
on the website for the public to view. So
Right.
any internal, promotions or jobs open just for internal employees, the public wouldn't even see that. So everything that we advertise on our county website, that is for public view and that's for public to apply for those
Right.
positions. Yes.
Absolutely. That was, I think that is my point to you, is that all these jobs that you see open to the public, there
Yes.
you can go. And going back to my other point is that maybe it's not the job of your dream, but
Absolutely.
however, if you get inside the system, there's other jobs you don't see on here that may have a job of your dream. So
Mm-hmm.
get your foot in the door. Okay?
Absolutely. You're absolutely correct. Yep. You have to start somewhere.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I always encourage individuals just come in land a job and then get the experience no matter what it is. Just learn as much as you possibly can. It's definitely going to help you down the road.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So you can't go
folks,
wrong.
Folks, we trying to help you get job. This is not a job. These are careers here, y'all. These are jobs with benefits and perks and stuff like that. Okay.
Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely.
how long you been with the county now? Claire?
I've been with the county now for 25 years. Yes. This April made 25 years. Yes.
Is that right? Very
Yes,
good.
sir.
See, that's a good example. See,
Yes.
you a great example. Once you get there, you don't need to look for a job anymore. You got your
No.
career.
Opportunity is there, and you can move, different departments if that's what your heart desire. But it's the main thing is getting your foot in the door, getting the experience, learning as much as you can, which will help elevate you to other promotions. So,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah. All right, Miss Claire
Okay.
Long. Is there
Thank you, sir.
anything else you want to share with us?
No,
I know
sir. Just this is the month of June 1st. So this is the opportunity. Positions are open. They are out there on our website. Please go out and apply at myescambia.com. That's myescambia.com.
myescambia.com, y'all. Go
Yes,
out there.
sir.
If you need an assistant, go to Career Escarosa. They got 3
Yes, they can
locations,
help.
one in Pensacola, one in Milton, and one up on the north end of the county. No excuses, y'all. You have no excuses. Thank you,
Yes.
Claire. We'll see
Thank you, sir.
next Monday, okay?
Okay, thank you.
All right, y'all. Claire Long of Escambia County government, y'all. Job, career. We'll be right back. Speaking of Escambia County, hopefully we'll be right back talking to Commissioner Luman May about what's going on the county side of the house. We'll be right back, y'all.
It's time for mornings with Vernon. Yeah. Yeah. Get up now. Come on now. Get up. For mornings with Vernon. Get up now. Let's go. Get up now. Turn it up now. 1, 2, 3. Let's get it now.
Today's weather, partly cloudy, high 81 degrees, low 73 degrees, 30% chance of rain.
You can get WBQP by downloading the phone app or typing RDO.2 WBQP in your browser.
The State Farm Personal Price Plan helps you create an affordable price just for you. Call State Farm agent Arthur Searcy for your personal price plan today.
Reign in the new year with a dazzling smile. Dr. Paul and the team at Marcus E. Paul DMD Gentle Family and Cosmetic Dentistry offer expert and comfortable dental care. From tooth replacement to addressing various needs, their friendly staff is ready to assist. Visit their office or call for the care you deserve. Achieve a beautiful smile with Marcus E. Paul DMD Gentle Family and Cosmetic.
Joe Morrison Son Funeral Home has been in business since 1913. Hi, I'm David Hawkins, the owner of Joe Morrison Son Funeral Home, saying we are a full-service funeral home. We offer pre-need funeral planning. We have a newly remodeled chapel and conference facility. Stop by and see us today. We have 9 vehicles, all waiting to service you. At Joe Morrison Son Funeral Home, we appreciate your stopping by. On behalf of all of our family here at Joe Morrison Son Funeral Home, thank you so much for allowing our family to serve you.
Choosing the right school is one of the most important decisions you'll make for your child. At Jacqueline Harris Preparatory Academy, we provide a safe, supporting environment where students grow academically and personally. With strong core instruction and unique programs, students gain confidence, creativity, and real-world skills. At JHPA, we live by our motto, enter to learn, depart to serve. Enroll today and prepare your child to soar.
Alexa, enable the WBQP skill and play WBQP Pensacola.
Keep growing.
Remember where you came from. It's the foundation of who you are.
Show up for others.
That's been our approach at Pen Air for 90 years. Pen Air Credit Union, 90 years strong.
Since 1951, we've been here for our local community, creating pathways to care. We meet you where you are, with trusted doctors in convenient locations throughout the area. Baptist Healthcare, here for you then, now, and always.
Blues Hound Show every Saturday, 10 a.m.
Pen Air offers flexible home loans, great rates, and local expertise to help you move forward. Pen Air Credit Union. Join us.
What is your story? It may take time to find it. You may even question if you have one worth telling. But when all seems lost, your story finds you. Because you don't need permission, just a place. And we'll be waiting. The American Black Film Festival. Everyone has a story. Yours belongs here.
WBQP TV streaming on Apple TV, Fire TV, Roku TV, and other streaming devices.
This is Prayer Perspectives by J.O. Gatson on your WBQP.
This is J.O. Gatson of Emmaus Baptist Church. We come before your presence in prayer, sacred words of prayer. We've come to offer ourselves to the Lord in prayer on this Makeover Monday. Pray with me if you don't mind. Lord God, we come because You're the one to keep hope alive in our lives on this Makeover Monday. We come praying because you're God. And our heart's desire on this day, on Makeover Monday, dear God, our heart's desire is that you would just make us over, mold and shape us to be the people that you desire in these last and evil days. Lord, we know that we've fallen short of your glory. So we come on this morning, Monday morning, dear God, doing our very best to make it right. That you would be edified and glorified in the midst of our lives as we pray now in the belovedness of Jesus the Christ, our Lord and our Savior. Amen.
Hi, Vernon. Here's your WBQP weekly weather forecast. We begin the week with a 60% chance of rain on Monday. Expect cloudy skies with scattered showers throughout the day. High temperatures will reach around 89 degrees with a low of 72. Tuesday remains mostly cloudy with a 40% chance of showers, a high of 87 and a low of 71. By Wednesday, we'll see a slight break in the wet weather. Expect a high of 82 degrees with a low of 69 and only a 20% chance of rain. Thursday brings partly cloudy skies with a 60% chance of showers. Highs will reach 83 degrees with lows around 70. And we wrap up the week on Friday with partly cloudy conditions and a 20% chance of showers. Highs will reach 82 degrees with overnight lows around 72. Overall, it's a warm and humid week with several opportunities for showers. This is Cheryl Mulrain, and that's your weekly weather forecast. Have a great week and keep it locked right here on WBQP TV and radio.
WBQP salutes the spirit of America, celebrating 250 years of freedom. Happy birthday, USA!
It's time for mornings with Vernon. Yeah. Yeah. Get up now. Come on now. Get up. For mornings with Vernon. Get up now. Let's go. Get up now. Turn it up now. 1, 2, 3. Let's get it now.
All right, y'all. Morning with Vernon. Good morning, y'all. Good morning. Waiting on Commissioner May this morning. He may be in and he may not, but if he doesn't, that'd be the first time, because he would definitely be because he's always Johnny on the spot, y'all. So, but hopefully he'll be calling in. But if he don't, we still got some stuff. I got some Black History stuff I want to cover, and also I want to talk to Officer Mike Woods at about the 8:30 time frame, if you will. Okay. But let me talk to you something about something else while we wait on Commissioner May, y'all. This a man in Ohio, y'all. A man in Ohio. I don't know how lucky you can be, but this man won the lottery twice in 1 month. Okay. Won the lottery. I mean, got some pretty good money twice now. They said, can lightning strike twice? And I guess in this case it did. He walked away with probably about $15,000-$20,000. His first one, he won $5,000 on an ultimate scratch off, and then he won another $10,000 and another kind of a scratch off. How lucky can you get? And speaking of being lucky, a person out in Texas this weekend. This happened this weekend now, okay? Matched the Powerball number perfectly, okay? And won $4.4 million, okay? $4.4 million. It's a nice little payday, y'all. Nice little payday, okay? You know, I was thinking a lot about things, and I'm the kind of person, I'm curious, okay? And we say a lot of things And I often wondered why we say certain things that we say. What the meaning behind uh, all those phrases that we use, you know? And I was talking to a friend of mine the other day, and the thought just because maybe I'm just nosy as hell, and okay. And they said, well, I guess the Knicks or somebody, I don't know, because I'm not a sports person. Some underdog team now beginning to got a chance. And they hadn't won anything in a long time. And I'm thinking, well, why are you sticking with that team? And then it told me, so, because I'm a diehard fan. I'm a diehard fan. And I started thinking about that for a minute. Diehard. What the hell do diehard mean? Okay. Where did it come from? So I had to do my little research about diehard. That word, that phrase, we always use that term diehard. But that was referring to, when I did the research on it, it told me diehard referred to soldiers who used to would fight to the last breath. They wouldn't surrender. It was a term that they used back in the 1700s to describe the troops that will not they'll fight to the death, in other words. Okay. And so that's what you call a diehard. And now, since we don't fight to the death in war, we just send missiles and drones over there now. But anyhow, so a lot of sports fans use that term. I'm a diehard fan. So I often wondered about that. And what about the rule of thumb? You ever thought about that? Where did that come from? The rule of thumb. Okay. Now, let me tell you what it's not. Okay. But what it used to be rumored as, they say that the rule of thumb come from an old law that they had that would allow men to beat their women, but they couldn't use a stick no wider than their thumb. True, that's a true mystical story. Okay, that they thought that where the word come from, but it didn't come from that. It didn't come from that. It came from actually from carpenters. Okay, carpenters and brewers used that rule of thumb as kind of a rough measurement before for them to come on. Okay, that's what they call a rule of thumb. Okay. And so I often wondered about that. This pick up something, and but I'm always curious about that. And another one got me curious too, pulling your leg. Somebody, and then the other one, like break a leg and like, pulling your leg. What do that mean, pulling your leg? Where did that come from? Everybody's saying, oh, well, that means like I'm joking around, like I do a lot. I'm not, you pulling my leg? Now that phrase originated back in the 19th century, back in London, where thieves, this is a true story now, thieves would trip up their victims by tugging on their leg before robbing them, getting them down just like a tiger, a lion. The bigger the prey, they have to trip them down. As long as they're on their feet, it's hard to get them, but once you get them down on the ground, you got an advantage. So that's what the robbers used to do, is trip them up, and then they would rob them that way. But now that phrase can kind of got a harmless term now. So it's now it referred to being playful or joking around or whatever. There wasn't no joke then when they was tripping you up and being robbing. I don't know how we got to that. Do you think that when we were sold down the river with that from? Oh, that's another term. Sold down the river. Where you think that come from? Now, that term itself really has a little bit of dark history behind it. Okay. Back in the 1800s, enslaved people in the United States were sometimes sold down the river to plantations. That's how that origin of that word came from. They were sold down the river, and where the result was the condition was a little more harsher for them. So it came to mean betrayal or being deceived, and it's just kind of a painful history, y'all. So that's I hope you learned something. There are plenty of ways that you can sail people down the river. So that's how that phrase came about. Yep. And the old phrase about toe the line, where do you think that phrase come from? Toe the line. You think about old stinking big toe, right? How you gonna toe the line? Well, in the old days, y'all, sailors was being inspected, had a line, had to line up perfectly. Their toes touching a marked plank on the deck, okay? And now, if you failed to touch the line, it could result in punishment or extra duty. So the phrase took on a figurative meaning, stay within the rules or meeting expectations or whatever, okay? And it's more about now about avoiding being scolded by your boss. So you need to toe the line. It's interesting. Now I know one of the things when you tell people about that, sometimes they get hysterical, but that's another one. For centuries, hysterical was wrongly attributed to female body parts. That's how the original reference to it, but it was wrongfully contributed to it. And it was talking in particular about female uterus. Okay, doctors once used this diagnosis for nearly any symptoms in women, and but again, then as time passes, people began to understand that emotions were not tied to specific organs. You know, when we got a little smarter. So hysterically, usually if somebody go hysterical, that usually means somebody is laughing uncontrollable. That's what we use it today, and reach intense emotions and not suffering from any outdated medical myths. You know, it's amazing how these things you get. In fact, you really get bum rush with all this crazy stuff, which is another term, bum rush. How do you think that came from, bum rush? Again, the history of that, back in the 1900s, y'all, saloons would literally throw out freeloaders who came for free lunch and didn't buy a drink. So they rushed them to the door, and the practice was known as bum rush. Later, the term bum rush was meaning to, forcefully push in or overwhelm something. So we always say now, we might say a crowd of people bum rush the stage at a concert. Thankfully that no one is being thrown out in the street, at least, about that bum rush. And another one, and I'm gonna finish up in a minute, because I when I got on my wheel of trying to uncover the meaning of some of these crazy terms, I had to, I couldn't let go. But a couple of other ones I want to talk to you about, and I hear all the time. It's just like over the weekend, it rained cats and dogs over the weekend. People use that term for centuries, okay? And but when city streets was back in the day, okay, maybe back in London and areas and close so forth, when city streets was filthy and drainage were poor, heavy rains would sweep debris and stuff into the gutter. And sometimes they even swept animal carcasses into that. And so, and they came to believe that people saying when they see all these carcasses, dogs and cats in these drainage areas, and they became said, well, it's raining cats and dogs. True story. That's how they got it and name. So that term stuck. It meaning that whenever you get a deluge of rain, or a heavy rain, and it's just simply meaning that now it don't mean that your cats and it rain literally mean cats and dogs, but that's interesting in that. Another one, Nicole, you got caught red-handed. Now, I can't catch me red-handed. My hand never. But anyhow, red-handed refer to a criminal literally found with blood in their hands after they committing a crime. Okay, that's out when the valley. That's what that term came from. You get caught red. That came back, excuse me, from an old Scottish law back in the 15th century. Over time, it took a little lighter meaning, but we always say it now. Anything you get caught with now that you didn't supposed to be getting caught with, you got caught red-handed. Okay. All right, this last one now. I promise you, this is the last one before I get into something else. Last one. Bite the bullet. Now, you see that in the old Western. Y'all remember that in the old Western, and they give the old cowboy. They didn't have anesthesia back then. They give the old cowboy a bullet to bite down on. You see that in the Westerns? Okay. Well, let's say that is the case. And that was the case, but it didn't start with the cowboys. Okay. It really started with soldiers. When they was in pain, they had to be given something hard to bite on during surgery. And guess what? They gave him a bullet. And that's why that they use that for anybody that can endure unbearable pain in silence. So biting the bullet just means that brace yourself for something unpleasant, like paying your taxes. I bit the bullet on paying the taxes. That kind of stuff. All right, y'all. I just, when I got on that and I saw that the other day, somebody told me there was a diehard fan. And that just got me to thinking, what in the hell does all of that mean? What the hell do diehard fan mean? Okay. All righty, y'all. I tell you the truth. Let me go to promoting something new when we come back. I thought we're gonna be talking to Lumen May, but I guess he didn't make it today. Something must be wrong. I better check him on him. Gotta be something is wrong. So, but when we come back though, we're gonna be talking to Officer Mike Woods at 8:30 though. He's gonna tell us about what's going on in the city of Pensacola. So y'all stay tuned, okay? Be right back.
Listen to WBQP radio in your car on CarPlay or Android Auto while you're on the go.
It's time for mornings with Vernon. Yeah. Yeah. Get up now. Come on now. Get up. For mornings with Vernon. Get up now. Let's go. Get up now. Turn it up now. 1, 2, 3. Let's get it now.
Alexa, enable the WBQP skill and play WBQP Pensacola.
Get WBQP by downloading the phone app or typing RDO.2 WBQP in your browser.
WBQP is the voice of the Black community, your information station.
All right, y'all. Welcome back to Morning with Vernon, y'all. Good morning. Good morning. It's 8:30 time frame, and we reserve that time for Officer Mike Woods down at the Pensacola Police Department. Good morning, Mike. How are you this morning?
I'm doing well. Good morning, and thank you for reserving this spot for us every week. We appreciate it.
Oh, no problem, Mike. No problem. How did the weekend go, Mike?
We had a couple of things happen. They were not very significant, which is good. One of them was an individual last week got into the secure area of the Pensacola Police Department where our cars are parked. He got into one of our cars and attempted to steal it. Officers were quickly there because that area is surveilled with cameras. Officers got him and asked him why he did it. He said he wanted to steal the car and lead police on a chase. That's what he wanted to do that day. So he was apprehended. And then also over the weekend, we had yet another couple of juveniles break into the Wahoo Stadium, tried to rip the TVs off the wall and to get into a secure door. I believe it was a cooler. And they too were caught. People get in that stadium overnight. It's happened several times and 100% of them have been caught. So it is heavily surveilled as well by cameras and people watching though. So it's not a very good place to break into.
obviously people must want to go to jail because think about it. Common sense. I'm gonna tell you a true story, which don't make any sense to me. When they know when cameras are around, right? And this is a true story now. I had my granddaughter staying with me, right? And she used to instead of asking can she have visitors, right? She sneaking the boyfriend into the window. Then think about all the 100 cameras I got around my house. How could she think she could do that? How do criminals think they can steal police cars, break into buildings with all of this surveillance around? You can't do anything these days.
Yeah, Vernon, it kind of drives us crazy. I mean, we're not dealing the criminals. A lot of times, are not the smartest people on earth, and that's why they get caught. It's not that we're so smart; it's that they are so dumb sometimes. So that's what happens if you decide to get into the line of being a criminal. Chances sooner or later you're going to get caught. If people committed a crime one time and never did it again, they might get away with it, but that's not usually how the mind works.
Yeah, it's absolutely amazing. I understand that y'all opened up Palafox for traffic today.
Yeah, that's happening this morning. They're going to open it up, and it may already be open. I'm not down there at the moment, but they are opening up Palafox to traffic for the first time. If you haven't been down there, go check it out. It's very nice. It was well done. There might be some confusion on what looks like a roundabout at a couple of those intersections. Those are not roundabouts. You can drive straight through like you always did. Of course, you got to stop first, but those are not roundabouts. They are made to slow traffic down and visually, and I think they're going to do a good job.
Okay, very good. Now, remind people about. I don't understand. I was given a news story this morning about they finally prosecuting the guy that ran the red light over at 9th Avenue and with the red light cameras there. Okay, is that still? Why wouldn't people not realize? And we were talking about cameras. Okay, now how long have we been at those red light cameras there now, Mike?
Yeah, they've been there for over a year, but it's still relatively new if you compare us to like places like Gulf Breeze that have had a robust traffic enforcement unit for years and years, and everybody knows don't speed through Gulf Breeze. And when these cameras are here for many years, people will understand you don't need to run red lights in Pensacola because you're going to get a ticket in the mail. This crash that you're speaking of was caught on camera. It was a pretty bad crash, and we're fortunate that the mother made it, but the onboard child did not survive that crash. So this man is going to go to prison now over just a dumb decision that he made. And speeding and running red lights obviously can be deadly, and it was in this case.
And the thing that always amazed me, and I kind of make it a practice now. I do what I call the look right and left 5-second rule to see what's coming, because you just cannot go out in traffic now because you never know who's trying to beat the light.
Right. Don't trust other drivers.
Don't trust other drivers. You got to drive defensively. You can't trust that. And so and people always try to beat the light. And hey, I don't know. You just help me understand that. I with all of the technology around, but people still do crazy stuff. To deadly consequences.
Yeah, those red light or the green light does not protect you from other drivers. The green light gives you permission to go through the intersection. So you've got to drive defensively. And like you said, when you approach an intersection, you don't have to put on the brakes at a green light, but just let off of the gas and look both ways as you're going through, because that may save your life. Sooner or later, they are going to build these cars to where they're not able to impact each other. They're going to have radar or devices all the way around them that prevents them from crashing into each other. And that's not too far off. A lot of vehicles, including my own personal vehicle, has a detection on the front that won't let me rear end somebody. So it's coming. And until that happens, as long as the human mind is involved, the human mind makes mistakes. And sometimes they're done on purpose. People run these lights on purpose. So you've got to drive defensively.
Yeah, well, you're right. And I think the technology now is going to catch up with us. And I've always been amazed. I got a car like that too, will prevent me from hitting somebody in the front. But the thing about that technology, Mike, I know you got to go, but the thing about that technology is that car can read speed signs and slow the car down. If it's How does it do it? I don't know. But how does it know this sign says 25 miles an hour, 50 miles an hour? And then if you got it set to drive on, it'll adjust itself to the speed limit. I think that is such incredible technology, you know?
Yeah, that's done by GPS. A lot of people that have the heads-up display in their cars where they can see the speed and direction in the windshield, and it shows what the speed limit is on that particular roadway. That's done by GPS. Good stuff.
But GPS reads stop sign. They know where every stop sign is in the speed of each stop sign.
Well, some of these like Waze or Google Maps will have the information in there already on those particular intersections, and it's able to determine that then. But that's things that are put into that program ahead of time.
Right. All right, Mike. Is there anything else you got for us this morning?
Hey, that's it. One more thing that I'd like to say, though, that is our babies, our children depend upon us to buckle them in. They don't have a choice when they're riding in a car. So please buckle them in, because if you get hit by one of these drivers that runs a light, that could save that child's life. So please buckle up your babies.
Mike, before you go, I thought I reported on the story this morning. Some fool was driving 102 miles an hour in a car with his child unrestrained. That is stupid.
Yeah, we've seen that before. Arrested people on the super speeder law, and with babies in the car that were not restrained, and that's something, unfortunately, that we see all too often.
Wow. Okay, Mike, thank you. I appreciate you, and I'll see you next week. Then I had another question, but I can't because I'm old and I forgot what the question was.
Welcome to the club.
But we'll see you next week. Okay.
Okay, Vernon. Take care.
Okay, you too now. All right, y'all. That's Officer Mike Wood at the Pensacola Police Department. He's here every Monday, y'all. Every Monday, giving us an update on what's happening on the traffic scene and the crime scene as it relates to the Pensacola Police Department. We really appreciate him keeping the community informed, and he's jolly on the spot. Okay. I gotta before we only got a few more minutes here, but I gotta talk to you about a little bit about Black history, y'all. Yes, about Black history. Now, if you don't know your history, you are going to repeat it. Okay, you're going to repeat it if you don't know it. So we're gonna talk about a little bit about Black history before we get out of here this morning. But one of the things I want to do before we get out this morning, I want to talk to you about a couple of the public services announcements that we got going on right now. Okay. And also tomorrow, who that I got on tomorrow? I got a guest on tomorrow. Let me see who's my guest tomorrow. It's going to be, I don't know, but I'll figure it out in just a few minutes. But anyway, let's see here. There we go. It's just kind of a community service announcement. If you love dancing, and the reason I asked that because I remember I'm going to have a dance instructor on this week, and I got to find my schedule. Is Miss Firm, and Firm is certainly a perfect dance instructor. Okay, and we're talking about dancing. Dancing is a great way of doing good cardio stuff if you're into that kind of stuff like that, into cardio, and this is the way that you're going to be. I got I got my commission on this morning?
Yes, sir. How are you? I was just enjoying listening to you and Mike Woods. It was
okay. I was wondering. I said, now telling everybody, commish, that I hadn't had you on. I said you have never missed, and but good morning.
Good morning. We still ain't gonna miss. We were tied up this morning. We're a little bit under the weather and having some challenges. medical challenges, but we are here and we've been listening, and
Really?
just wanted to make sure that we sign in and just say good morning and hello. And it's always better to listen than to talk because you learn more, Vernon. So I've been able to listen more than talk this morning.
Hey, Lumen. You know, y- grandmama's smart, and she
Yes,
used to
sir.
always tell me that. She said, "Boy, listen. That's why God gave you two ears and one mouth. Listen."
That's what that's the word. That's what my grandmom used to say the same thing. She said, "Boy, it's better to eat too much than to talk too much. Sit down and listen. You ain't got old enough to know enough to talk so much. So if you listen, you'll last longer." So I've learned in my life to just listen, man. Tell people I grew up all the time listening to Eugene Brown and H.K. Matthews and Dave Thomas and B.J. Brooks, and I'd sit around and listen to Casey Bass and Nathaniel Smith and Reverend Leverett, Reverend Rowe, and Reverend Johnson. Um, Much of what I know today, many cliches that I have, come from the old leaders and the old preachers, man. And when I was a young boy, they used to call me old man because I love hanging around those seasoned saints because you could learn so much from them.
That is so true. That is so true. Uh, and if you listen, you'll be surprised what you learn.
That's right. That's right. That's right, Vernon. Vernon, that's why I like listening to you. And so, I mean, we were talking about you yesterday with NAACP president, and congratulations to him that he'll be moving on in the next month. I know he's trying to transition the NAACP to new leadership, and was in with Jerry McIntosh and Fred Gann and Judge Bennett's daughter and Miss Sandra McCrary and Haley Marcet and Pastor Marcel Davis, many of them who are trying to strategize on how to get out the young vote. Talk Miss Sunshine, Linda John Moore, and people have the consensus was we got to really engage Vernon's TV show, his podcast, and get young people involved. And so we're looking to how do we engage some young people, young kids with branding and name recognition who want to be involved. And we're excited this Tuesday. On the morrow, we're going to have almost 200 plus children who will be getting to start work at the summer employment program. So hopefully some of those young people will be motivated to understand how do you engage. We were actually, after a meeting yesterday, walked out and saw two young people, two young ladies, and neither one were registered to vote. And both were highly intelligent and didn't even know how to vote. And they were 23 and 24 years old. So we got a lot of work to do. I mean, there's a lot of things that are going to go on the ballot: property taxes, local option sales tax, school board superintendent. A lot of things that's going to affect young black folks. And, let's just face it, they are closing schools in District 3 like hand over fist. Our children are being bussed out, driven out of District 3 to schools, taking our best minds and our smartest children and placing them in the accelerated programs that make other communities look good. And those kids who are struggling with learning, they are pushing them into choice schools and alternative schools, many times with not the proper tools to give them a proper education, which leaves them kind of ignorant to the process, and they don't participate, and they feel apathetic, they feel detached, and they don't participate. And when there's something shiny like "Make America Great" or here's me and Kanye West, they go voting uninformed, even voting for the enemy that seeks to take away their civil rights and their voting rights. And sometimes leadership, we don't even take them and shake them and say, young folks, do you realize what you're doing? And so I tell people, my dad said, you don't have enough sense to make a decision until you're at least 25 with a female and 30 with a male. Sometimes we have to tell our young folks. I mean, that they may not recognize it. I mean, because they running and gunning, partying and drinking, and they don't get it. And so it's up to us. I mean, we are in the most difficult days that I've seen in the last 56, 57 years that I've lived. in terms of voting and civil rights. I don't think people realize, Vernon, that they took away our basic civil rights by repealing the Civil Rights Act of 64. They took away our Voting Rights Act of 67, 68, in removing all the minority majority districts. If, yeah, as a preacher would say, if that's not enough to shout about, I can't say anymore. If that's not enough right there to get every black person up voting, alert, alarmed, concerned, and quite frankly, upset. And it's okay to be upset sometimes. If these things, those two things, don't upset you because your mom and grandma marched in the Newberries, marched in Woolco, marched down the Blunt building and the Brent building, marched downtown. I mean, did sit-ins at the counters. I mean, integrated schools. I mean, such as Escambia, and all that's being taken back. If that doesn't arise everybody, if that doesn't make people upset, Vernon, I don't know what you, I, or anybody can do if people continue to sit docile while this atrocity is happening to our community and to our people.
Yeah. I don't get it, Norman. I really don't get it. And people seem to be turning a blind eye to what's happening in this country instead of reacting. I don't know. I'm scared for the future. You know, we try to do as much as we can. You know, we and I tell folks all the time, I'm in the fourth quarter. Okay, but what about those folks sitting on the bench, and what about the folks in the first quarter, second quarter, third quarter of their lives? You know, they're gonna have to have a future here, and if you don't get up and voting is the most basic thing that you can do for yourself. Okay, but sometimes people just don't understand the value and the power of voting. And,
Amen.
Yeah.
And the sacrifice that they made, you know. So we used to put our pennies together to pay the poll tax and send our most informed citizens to go vote because they wouldn't let all of us vote because all of us didn't have money. And so we had to put our pennies together to pay a poll tax to just vote. Now we have the opportunity to be educated, the freedom to go vote. And I tell you, Vernon, we have a responsibility to go vote. And when people call my office and they say, well, you know, I don't vote, but I need help with my rent, or I need help in getting these trees cut off my fence, or I need my child out of jail. And you say, and young folks, we have 200 young folks, and I will guarantee you that most of them don't vote. And they have their job strictly because of politics. And they don't even recognize that. They don't recognize if you didn't have a county commissioner like Lumen May that was dedicated to getting young people jobs, nobody would have that program implemented. And so, you know, hopefully we get them to recognize that and how important it is.
Well, that's certainly going to be a job for us to get them to recognize it. And but these young folks, but you know, one of the problems I think, Lumen, is that young people they've been spoon fed all their lives, more, you know, they haven't felt the effects of things. So they don't, and my grandma used to say, they don't believe cow horns are hooked. And so I'm hoping that we can wake them up. Hopefully. Yeah. So I don't know, man. I don't know. We had a discussion yesterday on our voices about voting and stuff like that, and taking away the districts and how it's going to impact us, and we just moving truly backwards in the country. And we used to say this all the time, when we said it all the time, that every election we said this is the most consequential election that we've had. But every election it get more consequential.
Amen.
If we don't vote in 2026, we at least we have an opportunity to not to halt things. We can slow it down. Maybe we can't change everything instantly, but we have an opportunity to slow things down, okay, in 2026. So we hopefully that people will take heed to that, okay, and go out and vote, because if we don't do it, we're going back. I would say we're going back to slavery. If not physical slavery, we're already in psychological slavery, but I think we can physically go back into physical slavery if we ain't careful.
And they're trying to repeal the 13th Amendment. Absolutely. And do we understand what slavery is? Slavery is when our children can't get into universities, when our children can't get into trade school, when our children can't get a job, when they price us out of housing. That's slavery. I mean, when you have usury on credit cards that's 33% because they won't give us the 12% or 10%. It's slavery. I mean, it's economic slavery. As you said, it's psychological slavery. And slavery is slavery. When you're not free, you're just not free, man. And, as Leroy Boyd said, freedom ain't free, man. And
Yeah.
so I'm afraid of the difficult days, Vernon, that our children are going to see because at least we recognized it coming out of the struggle of what white only meant or what
Right.
segregation meant. We understood all of that coming out of segregation. These kids don't even know what's going to hit them, man. Our kids, they can't type a complete sentence because of texting and social media. They can't sign their name. They can only print their name. Most of them, they're talking about banning books, and our children are not even reading books. Old cliche, if you want to keep it a secret, just put it in a book and put it in the black community. And our children are not even reading, and we are lessening our standards just so our kids can move through a system. These are sad days. Everybody thinks that our children are getting Division I scholarships. I told somebody today, name how many D1 scholarships we got out of Escambia County last year, and now name how many we get this year. You can count them all on one hand. But then you have thousands of kids who are playing sports and thousands of kids who are going to play sports and returning home with nothing to return to. It's like kids going in the military and coming back home from the military, and they come back home to nothing. They didn't come back with a skill set, a job, or an opportunity. And it's up for us to pave that way, and it's up to us to continue to have these conversations, Vern. Let's not talk like everything is okay, because everything is not all right. Everything may be all right in my Father's house, but while we live down here, the Lord
Right.
wants us to enjoy some of the good things. We can't just keep talking about the good by and milk and honey and of the land that, well, I'll have to do nothing else. I mean, but walk around. I mean, we want to walk around on this earth, and our children our people deserve, our community deserve to live the same quality of life that every other person live. And then when we get on the other side, we want to live that great life too, because we're believers. But we are believers in this democracy. We are believers in this United States of America, that all men are created equal, and all men should be able to be judged by the content of their character, but not by the color of their skin. But daily people are being pushed out, deported by the color of their skin and not by the content of their character. And so America must get back and get a grip on, what is right and not what make America great, because America was not great for us and my dad was born in 1927. My mother was born in 1947. America wasn't great for them. So let's not go back saying we're going to go back. Let's move forward and try and make America better now and not again.
Yeah. I don't know quite what they really mean about making America great again. I do know the undercurrents is just let's make America white again.
Yes.
So I think that's what the bottom line is. But this country, what people failing to understand is founded on diversity. It is diversity. This is a diverse country. It's not run by, even though it was controlled by one group of people. And I think that's what this whole thing is about. It's about power and power grab, that people don't want to, they know that this country is being diverse, and they don't want to give up that power struggle. And seems to me it's going to be diverse whether they want to or not. It is how it's going to be ruled and how it's going to be governed. Okay, are we going to be governed by the people? Or are we going to have an apartheid state that we had in South Africa if we be governed by the minority? So we need to think about what we want in this country. And if you want to be living under apartheid, or you want to be living under slavery, well, do nothing. But if you don't want that for you and your children, then we need to do something. If it's nothing, just go check your voting status. Things change so much now. You might not be able to be eligible to vote when you go to the poll.
Amen.
Right now. So you need to check your status right now to make sure that you are eligible. Use your mail-in ballot. There's a lot of options that people can do that they may not even have time to go vote, but you can mail it. You can even I think the mail-in ballot is prepaid, aren't they, Lumen?
I think they're
I think so.
prepaid.
I think they're
I think so.
prepaid.
And look, man,
So,
if you got time to go to the club, I mean, honestly, if you got time to go to church, if you got time to go to the grocery store, if you got time to go to the doctor, you got time to go register to vote, because it is a matter of saving your life. It's that critical. The people can no longer make excuses that they don't have time.
Yeah.
It's too convenient.
I had the supervisor election on last Tuesday, I think it was. But anyway, I learned something I never knew, and I know you probably knew this, but I'm not always the last one. Don't nobody tell me nothing. But anyhow, I didn't realize that you can pre-register to vote when you get your driver's license. He said when you're 16 and 17 years old, and you get your driver's license, you can go ahead and pre-register to vote, and when you get 18, you're automatically in there. Yeah. I never knew that fact. They don't tell. When I took several of my grandchildren to get their driver's license. Had I known that, I make sure that they voted, but it was a couple of years after they turned 18. But had I known that, I would have done that.
Right.
So do we know that? Did you know that? I mean, you probably.
Oh yeah, I tell my young people, when you get your driver's license, go ahead and register to vote. Then they'll send you a voting card, baby.
Right. Exactly. And so that's what young people can do. So what you can do, you can absolutely do that. Just when you get your driver's license, go ahead and pre-register to vote when you're getting your driver's license. Folks that need to check your voting status, because with the mail-in, depending on how you've been voting lately, okay, so you cannot rely upon that right now. Sometimes even your precinct even change. If you went to vote in person like I do, I normally go vote in person, but don't rely upon that, because sometimes you might get sick that day, or it might be storming and you don't want to feel like getting out into the weather. Have options, okay? Have options. Request that mail-in ballot just in case. You don't have to use it, or you can or take advantage of early voting while you have it on your mind, so that you don't have to wait until election day when you may and may not be able to vote. But we got to start educating our community and educating our children, and directing, not only educating them, Lumen, sometimes you have to direct them on what to do and when to do it. Now, my wife got a policy that she makes sure all of our grandkids vote, and not only vote, but vote in their best interest. Okay, so she's dogged about that. Let me stop preaching. So you got anything else for us? In order of the day, Commish?
No, I'm all right.
Okay. So the summer program starts. Have it kicked off yet for the students?
We start tomorrow.
Start tomorrow. Very good. Okay. Well, thank you for that. Thank you for that, because a lot of kids need opportunities out there. Commission. That was a great program. Was that a brainchild of yours?
Yeah, it was, man. The summer summer programs. Those are all programs that we brought, man. We're just so proud of, man. When we started, there was not one summer program at the county. Today, we're starting with 5. I mean, we have them at Lexington Terrace. We have them in Inslee. We have them in Wedgewood. We have them at Ebenwood. We have them at Brownsville, and have them at Dory Mill. And obviously, there's always one Boys and Girls Club, but that's 6 programs. Right. I mean, probably to the tune of 600-700 children that we never had those programs before. So I'm just very proud to have started those programs and find an opportunity for those kids.
Well, I thank you for it. My grandkids went through your programs, and they're much better off for it, but it gave them an opportunity to gain a little experience doing something that's helping them down the road and whole 9 yards. And commission before we go, because we got to get out of here. But that's the beauty of having single district voting, having you in office, because before your time, or before we didn't have that unless we had somebody that pushing our own interest, and you have done that tremendously. And I hate to see that go away. And voting is the key to all of that. Okay.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for all your support.
All right. And thank you. We appreciate you. Okay.
Love you, man. Thank you, sir.
All right. Okay. All right.
Bye-bye.
All right, y'all. That's Commissioner Maeve. Nobody told him lately that we love him. We love him because he does an outstanding job, y'all. I hate to think that. I want you to just look back. I don't know how long he's been in office, 8 years, 12 years. I don't know. But I want you to compare what you're seeing today compared to before he was in office. Stuff that you just take for granted. Sidewalks, for an example, in our community. And we didn't always have sidewalks. Libraries in our community. We never always have libraries. Our community centers in our community. We didn't always have community. Summer jobs, just on and on. And I'm not pushing him because he ain't running for office now. But I just want to, you got to give kudos to the people that doing something for you. And people like him, that is the kind of folks that we need in office, y'all. All right, y'all. I got to get out of here. It's about 9 o'clock. But I'll be back always. Aubrey Bach. And but we're coming back tomorrow morning. We'll be here Monday through Friday with Morning with Vernon. And I want you to just tell everybody that's listening to the sound of my voice how to get us. It's easy. It's very easy thing to do is just catch us on the app, download the app, or you can just go on to the website and look at it. That's really no excuse. Go on TV if you're looking at television, channel 12. You got antenna TV, you can look at it. If you got a Roku or you got Fire Stick or you got Apple TV, you can get it. You can get it all there. But anyway, the important thing is get your Morning with Vernon on. Just get your coffee cup.
Mornings with Vernon.
Gotta go, y'all. Yeah. I'll see you tomorrow.
Get up now.
Have a great day.
Come on now. Get up for Mornings with Vernon. Get up now. Let's go. Get up now.